This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the good folks over at ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease makes it super easy to get your favorite legal cannabis marijuana products in hardly no time at all. It takes just minutes to place an order through ease.com and less than an hour to take delivery. Find out if you live in a part of California where Ease is active, and then if it's during legal delivery hours, get your order in over at ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. Right now, Ease is running a sale that will knock 20% off the cost of a bunch of different products, all of which you know are properly tested, packaged, and labeled. If you like getting exactly what you pay for, you're going to love shopping through ease.com. Swing over to ease.com and see how easy legal California marijuana delivery can be. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Wednesday, August 15th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 550 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story today starts us off in California, where a judge recently ruled in favor of a family seeking to enroll their 5-year-old daughter in public school, even though she requires daily CBD medication to treat a seizure disorder. Young Brooke Adams was able to start kindergarten class on Monday after a judge ruled that she be able to do so, pending the outcome of a lawsuit her family has filed against their local school district, which is trying to ban the use of medical marijuana on its campuses. A broader ruling on the matter is expected to land sometime in November, so until then, Brooke will be free to attend school and to take her medicine while on school grounds. Right now, California law does not protect school-age medical marijuana patients from such bans. This is today's top story because it's a great example of just how stupid marijuana prohibition is. This case exemplifies that perfectly. The Washington Post has a great story up about one of the downsides of the growth of legal marijuana, and that's in the mountain of packaging waste that's being generated by the cannabis industry. The Post's story focuses on Washington state in particular, but the issue is one that will happen wherever marijuana is legalized without strict sustainable packaging laws. Besides the obvious impacts that come from cannabis cultivation, like the increased use of pesticides and fertilizers, legal marijuana is also being blamed for an uptick in wastes like plastic baggies and single-serving joint tubes. This is a big issue for our industry and one of those things that would benefit us all to get right away. We wrap up today's top stories up in my corner of the country here in Maine with news that a Canadian medical marijuana investment firm has canceled the acquisition of a Maine-based cultivation company that was set to be worth more than $8 million. Vancouver-based C21 Investments had announced in June plans to buy up a cultivation facility in Auburn, Maine that was owned by local businessman Kevin Dean. But according to reporting over at Maine Public, C21 Investments has now scuttled those plans after learning that Mr. Dean is under federal investigation for some allegedly illicit marijuana dealings. This is a bit of a juicy story, so I'd swing over to Maine Public for all the details and background. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease knows that sometimes it's not easy to make it to your favorite local dispensary. Maybe traffic is crazy or you have company on the way over. Whatever is keeping you tied to the old homestead, Ease has you covered when it comes to getting you top quality legal cannabis products that are properly tested, labeled, and packaged. With deliveries taking place in less than an hour, it's never been easier to get your hands on legal cannabis flower, concentrates, vape pens, CBD pet products, edibles, topicals, and consumption devices. Don't delay one more day. Open up ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E, and get your order started. Assuming, of course, that you're lucky enough to live in a part of California where Ease is active. And if you aren't so lucky to live in a place where Ease can deliver, you can still fire up their website to check out all the valuable bits of industry insight and analysis they've developed using their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. That's ease.com. All right, time for the blitz. Pennsylvania marijuana regulators are not happy with the owners of the Justice Grown dispensary after they offered up 2 strains of marijuana flower for the low price of $1 per gram, with each customer limited to buying 2 grams each. Pennsylvania recently started allowing dispensaries to sell cannabis flower after initially limiting patients to more processed forms like concentrates and extracts. But state law prevents dispensaries from holding any kind of sales promotion. Justice Grown CEO Abe Kruger's response to being notified of the state's displeasure with the sale was to point out that what they had done with their $1 a gram cannabis wasn't exactly a discount because they hadn't offered it for sale before at a higher rate. So he's technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. The LA Times editorial board has a good editorial up decrying the lack of legal options for Californians to buy cannabis, picking out efforts by some towns and cities to ban the delivery of marijuana as particularly troubling. Open this one up and give it a read. Marijuana Moment's Kyle Yeager picked up on some interesting news as scientists have discovered that cheap espresso machines are capable of extracting cannabis extracts that can be used in analytical testing. A soon-to-be-published study in the International Journal of Pure and Applied Analytical Chemistry details how researchers used the relatively cheap espresso machine to derive samples of cannabis extracts for use in analytical testing. One of my favorite parts of this one is the fact that researchers noted that after the study, they had continued to use the cleaned-up espresso machines in their lab to actually make coffee. Kyle has another book-ended story with a look at our friends over at Smarter Approaches to Marijuana, a prohibitionist group headed by failed activist Kevin Sabet that likes to cherry-pick data and ignore contrary evidence to their worldview that everything is better when people get locked up for cannabis. Kyle's story dives into a new project by Project Sam that purports to track the flow of legal marijuana industry contributions to politicians working on cannabis law. Like everything Project Sam touches, their tracking tool website seems to be lacking in the old implementation category, as Kyle's reporting that the site is riddled with bugs and bad links. The issue of marijuana legalization is creeping into Nevada's race for the U.S. Senate as Democratic candidate Congresswoman Jackie Rosen is blasting incumbent Republican Senator Dean Heller for his lack of support for Nevada's legal marijuana industry in the face of Attorney General Jeff Sessions' blustery moves earlier this year. It's awesome to see marijuana come up as an issue in a race like this, so I'd pop over to the story for the full read, no matter which state you happen to live in. Alan Brockstein over New Cannabis Ventures has a good piece up looking at Maryland's Severn Bank, which has greatly ramped up its number of marijuana industry customers over the past 6 months, with a little over 3% of its total deposits now coming from legal marijuana businesses. While the general picture for legal marijuana businesses is that business banking services continue to be hard to get, it's nice that there are some prominent exceptions to the rule. Swing over to New Cannabis Ventures for more on this one. And finally for today, we have news out of Louisiana that the rollout of the state's nascent medical marijuana industry will be pushed back a while longer yet, as delays in the cultivation phase are raining down on earlier plans to be up and operational by September. The new word on the street is that November is the earliest legal cannabis will be harvested for Louisiana patients. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. While you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. What's small, round, and blue? A cranberry holding its breath. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.